My name's David Simpson, a retired doctor. My wife and I have a flat in Glasgow that was used. We bought it in 2003 when a variety of our kids were through there at university in Glasgow. And we became, after they left, we had to decide whether to keep it and let it out or whether to sell it. We decided to keep it and recruited Jack and Western Lettons in 2011. Well, basically, we had different family members staying there at different times from 2003 till 2011. So initially, youngest daughter was through, and she stayed there with a few pals, and then at various other times our other daughter stayed there with their partners or husbands or whatever. So it was a family operation up till, I guess, up till 2011. Then they all moved away, so we had to decide what to do with it. It's quite a big flat. It's a double upper flat on the top floor in Balliol Street. It's got 4 bedrooms, I think, and 2 public rooms, so it's a reasonable size. Jack gave us a few tips when we took it on to smarten it up a bit, so we did that, and we've let it pretty much since then. Well, they're very professional, actually. They're good at the sort of things which I think would be nowadays would be a hassle for any buy-to-let property for the owner, in that you do need to be aware of all the rules and regulations and have a degree of formality about that in terms of recording everything and making sure all the standards are adhered to in property landlord registration. We've already done, but making sure that basically that you manage it as a professional exercise, adhere to all the relevant standards, had all the relevant documentation, and of course screened the tenants and took up references and all the things which would have been difficult to do on an amateur basis. So you're moving from an amateur enterprise with family and friends into a professional relationship with an organization, and Western Lettons have been very professional. So happy with them. Really much smaller enterprise. I think when they started up, they didn't have so many properties. I think now they have a lot of properties, but we've had relet it maybe off the top of my head, maybe 3 or 4 times. Well, yeah, 4 or 5 times actually, and been pretty happy with the people who've been in there. And there's always inevitably a bit of a gap when tenants move out, but it's always been relatively easy to find new tenants and get them in. But it's very digital now, the whole process. I say that's the difference from the beginning. It's a highly sophisticated digital process. Well, I've actually recommended them to a couple of people. I think, talking to a variety of people who let properties, that I think it's important that you have a link with a company that's based locally, with a head of that company that you recognize, and you're not dealing with a company that's part of a bigger company, that's part of an even bigger company, that's owned by somebody in another part of the planet that you never see. I think it's important to have a local locus and identifiable and accountable individual.